Aloha, I'm Paul Norman. I'm the Executive Director of Neighborhood Place of Puna. And today I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you a little bit about equanimity. Um, so it's a really important quality. It's something that can be really helpful as a parent, as a person who works in the field, in the human services field. And I also think it's pretty misunderstood. So there are a lot of people, a lot of individuals who believe that equanimity is pretty much the same as indifference. In other words, you experience equanimity. You are equanimous. I think I'm not sure exactly the word, but your experience of equanimity means that you are not impacted by the world around you. You know, for good or ill. You know, you don't have any passion for the world. You don't feel anger or upset or happy or whatever. You're just calm and peaceful all the time. You know, kind of like the stereotypical guru up on the mountain. And, you know, that's not helpful because indifference is not equanimity. So, equanimity actually comes from Latin, and it means something along the lines of having a balanced spirit. Or, you know, I kind of think of it as having a balanced heart. And the thing to remember about balance is that balance is not stasis, right? Balance, when you're balancing, if you try to stand on one leg, you are not still. Your body is constantly making little adjustments to keep you upright and balanced. And the same thing when you're standing on both your feet. You just do it so much you may not notice, but your body's constantly adjusting to keep you standing upright, keep your center of gravity in the proper place so that you remain standing. So balance, equanimity is dynamic, right? It is continuous action. It's continuous adjustment. And so when we think about equanimity, when we think about balance, when we think about balance in our heart, we talk about equanimity, it's not that we don't get upset, we don't get passionate, we don't get you know, angry, we don't, you know, we don't experience, it's not that we don't experience the full range of human emotions, but it's that we readjust each time we come back to our center, right? So you as a parent, you know, hard being a parent, and you get tired and you get frustrated with your child or whatever happens, that's totally normal. But then you return back to center and move forward, right? Because that's part of life. I mean, the frustration and the love all mixed in together, that's life. And to have equanimity is to be resilient enough that you can adjust with that you can keep coming back to your center. And now the question about what is your center? Who are you in the center of your being? What is that center? That's a different question. But equanimity is about balance and resilience. And, you know, as service providers, as you know, people in an organization that works to help families, you know, we have to use a lot of equanimity. So first of all, many of the families that come to us have experienced trauma, and they don't really have a strong center. So as individuals, as service providers, we need to provide the anchoring for them. We need to be their center, right? Because because of just being homeless, struggling, is traumatic. So first of all, we as service provider need to make sure that we have the resilience to come back to center all the time. But also because we use a model which is very person-centered, it's very, you know, we recognize that the individuals coming to us are adults. I mean, adults with children, but they're adults. They have a life that we don't know, that we can't understand. They've made choices for reasons that we don't know, we don't understand. And we try to support them in being successful in their life. And sometimes, the temptation sometimes is to be a little patronizing and think that we know what they need to do to make their life better. And we don't, because we don't know what they've been through. We need to trust them to make the best decisions for them or make their own mistakes, whatever. And we need to be able to, as service providers, we need to be able to kind of accept that and move forward. So you, individual that I'm working with, make a decision that I maybe disagree with or I don't think is healthy. Okay, what can I still do to help you be successful in being housed or being a parent or whatever that is, right? So that is the kind of equanimity we're talking about. And the same thing for me personally, I struggle a lot with the injustice in our system, the fact that we live in a fabulously well society in which children are forced to be hungry and homeless because we as a society are not willing to share enough of our abundance to make sure that every child is housed and fed. I get really angry about that and get very frustrated, but can I come back and show up the next day and do the work and keep fighting the fight year after year? For me, that's what equanimity is. And, for each of us, we need to find that. We need to find our balance in life, not our stasis, not become unfeeling, heartless individuals, which is, it's a kind of a defense. And in the Bible, in the Jewish Testament, we hear often God saying, I will harden their hearts. Right? I mean, it's like it's the ultimate curse from God. He will harden or she will harden or however you want to say it. God will harden their hearts. Right. And that's, a natural defense that we do. We harden our hearts. We become unfeeling. Um, and that's not healthy. And that's not a balanced life. That's not equanimity. Unfeelingness is not equanimity. Right. And it hurts. It hurts to see individuals suffering, right? It hurts to see families where there's violence in the home. It hurts to see children who are struggling because their family doesn't have enough resources. It hurts to speak to people whose hearts are so closed that they can't see that the help that is needed, that they can't give the help, that they can't find a way to help. That hurts. And there's pain and suffering in the world. And we need to be open to that to some degree, to the extent that we can, right? Not everybody can do that. We all have different thresholds, and that's fine. So when we talk about equanimity, when we talk about balance in our lives, first of all, it's attainable. You don't have to go live in a cave. You don't have to go live in a monastery. You don't have to be a monk or a nun or religious ascetic or whatever. You right now, today, can have balance in your life. And there are a lot of things that contribute to that. So, of course, getting enough sleep, eating properly, exercising, those are great things. They can be really hard. Parents with young children, it's super impossible to get enough sleep. And it's just really hard. So, I mean, as best you can, right? So eat as best you can, sleep as much as, sleep a healthy amount of time, exercise if you can, find some way to recharge, whether that's spiritually or whether it's getting out in nature or whatever that is, to have center, having friends and a social network. All of those things will help you be resilient. It's not you against the world. It's us as a community trying to improve our community, trying to deal with whatever troubles are in front of us. So those are some simple things you can do to create equanimity in your life. The thing that doesn't help is a lot of judgment, a lot of guilt. Normal to get angry, normal to lose your temper, normal, that kind of stuff. Normal. It's okay. Do you recover? Right? Do you come back to, hey, yeah, yesterday I was angry or yesterday I was really frustrated, but do you come back to your center? And again, talking about what is our center, what is that balanced heart? And along these lines, one of the things I think about a lot, one of the ideas that I carry around with me is St. Augustine's idea that virtue is a rightly ordered love, right? We love the right things in the right order. And non-virtue is loving the wrong things or loving the wrong things or loving things in the wrong order, right? And for me, the shorthand for me is virtue is a rightly ordered heart. And of course, we're human beings. We're totally fallible. We're not omnipotent. We're not omniscient. We don't know everything. So we have to do the best we can, right? And being humble, accepting our limitations, recognizing that we don't know everything, can go a long way to helping with our equanimity. So equanimity, resilience, we talk about with parenting, we talk a lot about parental resilience, which is very much the same thing. Is really important for a healthy life, and especially if you're a parent or if you're a service provider, right? We need to bring resilience. We need to bring equanimity into the world and live that as best we can as human beings with humility and forgiveness. So I hope this was valuable. I hope you have a wonderful day. And just remember that, Neighborhood Place of Puna is working to create a community in which every child can be raised in a safe, stable, and nurturing home. I think it's something we all want. I think it's going to take a lot of work to get there, but if we work together, we can get there and realize that world, which is a better world. So have a wonderful day, and aloha.